How do you build a rock-solid economy for over 11 crore people? Welcome to this explainer. We're going to dive right into how the state of Maharashtra built its resilient economic backbone, tracing a fascinating journey from massive macroeconomic policies all the way down to grassroots empowerment. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit 1. An economic powerhouse. 2. The agricultural foundation. 3. Hurdles in the fields. 4. The cooperative solution. 5. Expanding beyond farm credit. And finally, 6. Values driving the future. Let's get to it. Section 1. An economic powerhouse. The scale of Maharashtra. Check out this number, 31%. That is the massive chunk of India's total foreign direct investment inflow that Maharashtra pulls in all on its own. To put that into perspective, between April 2000 and September 2017 alone, that amounted to over 6 lakh crore rupees. It absolutely cements the state's macroeconomic dominance on a national scale. Now, managing an economy of that magnitude, it requires a vast administrative network. We're talking about a state divided into 36 districts and 6 revenue divisions. Think major hubs like Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur, all working in tandem to support a staggering 11.24 crore people. That actually makes it India's second most populated state. Moving on to Section 2, the agricultural foundation, the roots of the economy. Despite those booming industrial hubs, there's a huge underlying shift happening. Over a 15-year period, agriculture's share of the gross state value added dropped from 15.3% down to 12.2%. Now, while that definitely shows an economy pivoting quickly towards services, it also leaves a very traditional, foundational sector under immense pressure. Which brings us to Section 3, hurdles in the fields, challenges facing the rural sector. Because that statistical drop we just saw, that translates to daily reality for rural farmers who are battling a perfect storm of economic vulnerability. They're up against decreasing landholdings that strangle productivity, plus soil degraded by chemical fertilizers, and worst of all, they're paralyzed by severe agricultural indebtedness, a crippling lack of capital, and virtually zero marketing facilities to actually sell their harvests. So this brings up a really crucial tension-building question about the rural supply chain. What happens if farmers try to sell their produce without the middlemen? How do you empower a farmer with no capital to suddenly stand on their own 2 feet in the open market? That brings us right to Section 4, the cooperative solution, Maharashtra's greatest contribution. The state's answer to this crisis wasn't just a standard policy tweak. In fact, it's firmly documented that the cooperative movement is the greatest contribution given by the state of Maharashtra to the country. It acts as an incredibly effective instrument in the economic development of rural areas fundamentally aimed at improving the socioeconomic conditions of the underprivileged. The sheer scale of this solution is mind-blowing. As of March 31st, 2017, there were about 1.95 lakh, so nearly 200,000, cooperative societies actively running across the state. This was a systemic grassroots reorganization of rural economic life. And this vast network? It directly mobilized about 5.25 lakh members. By pooling their limited resources together, everyday people turned the cooperative movement into a highly effective powerhouse for rural development, securing real collective bargaining power for themselves. Let's look at how this evolved in Section 5, expanding beyond farm credit, diversifying the movement. You see, the cooperative movement in Maharashtra was originally confined mainly to the field of agricultural credit. Basic loans for seeds, things like that. But it subsequently extended way beyond that. Farmers weren't just getting crop loans anymore, they were scaling up into complex value-adding industries like massive sugar cooperatives and advanced textile mills. The diversification touched almost every sector imaginable. It expanded into agro-processing and agro-marketing. We saw the rapid rise of fisheries cooperative societies and massive cooperative dairy societies. It even pushed straight into urban centers through housing societies and consumer stores. Basically, by vertically integrating the whole shebang, these communities kept the profits local. Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, Values Driving the Future, the core of cooperation. So what actually sustains this giant interconnected engine of nearly 2 lakh societies? Well, it's the human element. It is the realization that unity and solidarity don't just link people together, they actually drive the entire socio-economic future of the community. At its core, the basic nature of cooperative societies is to encourage the values of self-help, democracy, equality, and solidarity. This isn't just about maximizing profit. It's about engineering a genuinely democratic economic system where every single member literally has a voice. So, I leave you with this final thought to explore. If these core values of self-help and solidarity were powerful enough to build Maharashtra's resilient rural backbone, how might those exact same principles be applied to reshape and empower your own local economy today? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the structures around you.